Hello, everyone, and welcome to MindTea, a podcast where we discuss sip-sized, practical tools for meaningful living. I'm your host, Izzy Wan, a mindfulness teacher, tea ceremony host, hypnotherapist, and speaker. In today's episode, I want to talk about how to make your gratitude practice more meaningful. We probably all have some sort of experience gratitude journaling, especially if you're listening to this podcast. We all also know the benefits of journaling, but today I want to cover this one because several people have asked me in the past, won't I get delusional if I keep practicing gratitude? How do I know what is worthy of writing down? Or, well, I've done it a few times now, but I don't actually notice that much of a difference. So how do we actually gratitude journal to get the most out of it? Now, I've seen a few approaches from clients and friends before they started working with me, where they will try and fit 40 things or 50 things into their journal each day, or mindlessly list things down to get through it, or overthinking which events are big enough to deserve them writing it down on their gratitude journal. But it's not a quota to tick. It's not about being a chore to get through, or finding the so-called right things to put on the list. I'm going to break down each misconception today that I mentioned and give you some practical ways to actually gratitude journal to get the most out of the practice. So let's start. Number 1. Won't I get delusional if I keep practicing gratitude? To uncover this question, it's useful to first understand the concept of gratitude, and we can do this by looking at the neuroscience behind it. When we practice gratitude, our forebrain, in particular the ventral striatum, lights up. And this region is the same region that lights up when we experience pleasure, and they are a key part of the brain's reward system, playing a crucial role in processing rewarding experiences like eating food, or having money, or having social rewards. Research suggests that practicing gratitude can lead to increased activity in the ventral striatum, as well as other areas like the prefrontal cortex, because it activates the brain's reward circuitry and releases neurochemicals linked to happiness, such as dopamine. Therefore, what this means is that the more gratitude we practice, the more we strengthen our neural pathways linked to happiness. And so it is actually a very easy and accessible way of bringing more joy into your life. Now, one way to test if this is going to make you delusional is to try and experiment with yourself first. Try and gratitude journal once every day in the way that I'm going to outline in this episode for the next 7 days and see for yourself. Does this make you feel delusional? Or are there other emotions that come up instead? And number 2, how do I know what is worthy of writing down? So this is a mistake that I made when I first started gratitude journaling, going through the things that happened in the day and trying to filter out what is worthy enough to be on my list today. But over time, I came to realize that the smallest things can be most worthy of our gratitude. If we always think about what deserves to be on the list, nothing will be worthy enough. But if we flipped the script and think of what things do I take for granted, no matter how small, that I might overlook every day, and then all of a sudden, even something as small as having fresh water to drink from the touch of a lever, or living in a safe place away from a war zone, or even having a job, are very real struggles that are even more prominent now in our current world climate. These become things to be even more grateful for. And things like being able to afford the food we eat, being able to wake up to the people we love each day, and being able to contact friends and relatives afar just from the touch of a glass screen. So suddenly, when we start recalling these small things that we overlook, the list becomes longer and longer and longer, even without you trying, because when we notice all the little things, everything becomes worthy of our gratitude. Which brings me to the next misconception, which is, I've done it a few times now, but I don't notice much of a difference. Now, this is subjective, so I wouldn't really class it as a misconception. However, I do think that there's something you can do to make this have more of a difference in your own life. So relating to the previous points, when you keep overthinking what's worthy of feeling grateful for, your brain gets into the analytical states where you then start wondering, okay, what defines what's good enough? What other metrics that make this deserving? That probably didn't make me that extremely happy, so it doesn't deserve to be on the list. So that analytical state is actually what we don't want to do. Because when we're gratitude journaling, we're trying to move away from intellectualizing and we're trying to move into feeling. So a crucial step that people are missing when they're gratitude journaling is that they write something down like, I went to pole class today, or I cooked a nice meal for myself, or I listened to MindTea today. But they don't write down how it actually made them feel. So then they are just understanding what happened logically, but they're not experiencing it, which defeats the purpose of the gratitude practice. The way to shift from intellectualizing to feeling is to simply add an extra sentence onto it. So for example, I went to pole class today, which made me feel so empowered and strong, especially because I was able to do the invert. Or I cooked a nice meal, which made me feel like I was looking after myself properly, which made me feel good about myself. Or I listened to MindTea today, which gave me value, so it made me feel confident about gratitude journaling tomorrow. So you see, the key is to actually add the extra detail on how it made you feel, so you can trigger the same neural links in your brain that lit up when you first experienced it. Now, if you want to go a step further, you can even close your eyes after you write it and imagine experiencing that moment again so you can really anchor that feeling down. So these are the 3 ways that can enhance your gratitude journaling and make it not only more effective, but also more enjoyable for you too. That is 1, understanding that when we practice gratitude, we are lighting up the same parts of our brain linked to pleasure. 2, writing down not only the big things, but remembering the little things too. And 3, adding an extra sentence on how each experience made you feel, or going a step further, even visualizing it after you write it down. Journaling shouldn't feel like a chore or something that you have to just get out the way, and using these tips can help you turn it into an enjoyable ritual that you can look forward to. I always look forward to my own gratitude practice because I've noticed that on the days that I miss it, I feel so much less present and I also forget what happened in the day a lot easier. My gratitude practice makes me feel not only more engaged with myself and more happy, but also so lucky for all that I have that I miss noticing for so much of the day. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. So thank you for being here, and if any of these resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. I always enjoy reading your feedback and learning from your insights. If you took any value from this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could do me a favor and take a moment to subscribe and rate the show, or share it with someone you love so more people can benefit from mindfulness. Until next time, keep steeping in wisdom, and don't forget to take a moment for yourself today, even if it's just 5 minutes.